Well, what's next when it comes to engaging with our communities and thinking a little bit more differently about journalism? How do we advance journalism for all? We wanted to see who else was pushing the envelope, right? When we can come together and think of something new.
You know, what's so great about this event and events like this is to see how much kind of reimagining and adaptation is happening all the time.
There's an opportunity for us to really have this community of practice, this support network, and this way to build further understanding and dissatisfaction in the best of ways in newsrooms across the country.
And one thing that's really interesting is like our personal connections to what we do and why we do it, you know, so the things that are like what motivates us and what draws us into the work, you know, and how our response to global events that are traumatic, how that then motivates us to do something that's on the local to affect change.
There's still a role for journalism. The press, we're the only profession that's mentioned in the Constitution.
This group is just an example of how incredible it can be when people create solutions for the context that they're living in. There is this budding community of practice and this network of practitioners that's actually emerging and showing its power and force. So I hope in 5 or 10 years from now, there's a conference the size of ONA that is just about this topic. So
there's like collaborative journalism and solutions journalism and engaged journalism, and there was civic journalism back in the 90s. So what is the common thread?
How do we dismantle the systems that have traditionally done harm to communities of color and to mainstream communities?
I think just the presence here is what impresses me. News is occurring within reach, within walking distance, and that's as important as anything that's happening across the country or across the world.
We're talking about certain kinds of journalism dying with this idea that what we're actually seeing is a rebirth.
We need to continue to fund this landscape, and this ecosystem needs to be enriched in that way that we bring new voices and new ideas.
We really are here to really try and transform whose voices count, or changing, redefining whose voices count.
What's the role of community media and as journalism? Like, what is our responsibility to be community members first and then trusted information stewards based on that community membership?
What are the implications for what it is that we're doing here in this evolution from, you know, being fed to feeding ourselves? We really have to figure out what are the best things to put in our bodies, so to speak.
We need to be a lot more radical. We need to be a lot more aggressive. We need to do more than, you know, I don't want to be in a room like this 20 years from now. I was in one 20 years ago, but I want to be doing something different.
We are seekers of the meaning of life, and journalism is a vehicle meant to assist in the translation of individual stories and global struggles. We are all connected by our ability to create, by our ability to overcome. And there is something about our collective spirit that can never be destroyed.